Listen carefully, because what I am about to tell you is not random, and it is not small. There are moments in a person's life when heaven begins to move in silence, long before the visible answer arrives. You may have believed the last season was only loss, delay, or disappointment. But Archangel Michael is saying that your past is not being erased by accident. It is being reinterpreted by God. What looked wasted is about to reveal its hidden meaning. What felt like abandonment is about to uncover protection. And what felt like a closed chapter is already carrying the first signs of a new beginning. Do not skip this message because something has been concealed from your sight, and the reason it was hidden is about to matter more than you realize. Type Amen if you sense that this word was not placed in front of you by coincidence. Stay with me, because the revelation is unfolding slowly, and the first truth you need to hear is this. Heaven has been preparing a surprise around your life while you were still trying to make sense of the waiting. There is a reason the memory of certain losses has followed you longer than the pain itself. It is because those events were never only events. They were markers. They were intersections. They were the quiet moments where God was steering you toward a destination you could not yet recognize. Some of the doors that closed in your past were not rejection, but redirection. Some of the people who walked away did so because their place in your journey had ended before you understood the assignment. And some of the confusion you carried was allowed because it kept you moving through the wilderness long enough for your character to be strengthened before the blessing arrived. But there is something else you need to know. Behind the scenes, a hidden alignment has already begun. Conversations have started that you have not heard. Decisions have been made that you were not informed about. And a path that once looked blocked is already beginning to clear. Comment God is working if you believe God can move where you cannot see Him move. Stop and consider this carefully. The hardest part of your past may not have been the pain itself, but the way it changed how you expected the future to look. After disappointment, people often begin shrinking their expectation until they can survive the waiting. They tell themselves not to hope too much, not to imagine too much, not to believe too deeply, because hoping hurt before. But heaven is interrupting that survival mindset right now. The Lord is not asking you to pretend the pain never happened. He is asking you to stop allowing the pain to define the meaning of what comes next. What you endured did not cancel your appointment. It qualified you for a revelation you could not have carried earlier. There is a sealed scroll attached to your name, and its opening is closer than it has ever been. You may not see the seal break yet, but the pressure around it is already changing. Keep reading carefully, because the next revelation changes everything. Before long, you will understand why the waiting had to last this long. Type 1 believe if you are ready to receive that truth. I can feel the urgency around this word, and you should too. There are some nights when heaven is quiet not because nothing is happening, but because too much is happening beneath the surface to be seen all at once. Your life has been in one of those seasons. While you were trying to interpret the silence, angels were moving through places of resistance, and Michael is saying that certain battles were never yours to fight alone. You thought you were just enduring another ordinary day, but in the invisible realm, a protective line was being drawn around you. Some of the attacks against your peace were turned back before they reached you. Some of the fear you felt was answered before you understood what it was. And the reason you kept surviving what should have overwhelmed you is because heaven was preserving you for a surprise you still do not know how to imagine. Do not ignore this part. Your story has been guarded in ways that will only make sense once the outcome appears. Type protected if you understand that unseen covering has been real over your life. And now I need you to stay close because the mystery is deepening. There is an unexpected conversation already in motion, and you do not yet know who initiated it. It may involve someone from your past or someone you never expected to think about you at all. It may involve an apology, an invitation, a correction, or an opening that suddenly makes room for what had been impossible. but the important thing is not the human face attached to it. The important thing is that heaven has timed it. Some conversations are not random, they are appointed. Some words are spoken because a hidden season has finally ended. Some names are mentioned in rooms you were never supposed to hear about, and yet your future is being discussed there. Yes, discussed. Not guessed, not hoped for. Discussed. There is more happening than you realize, and one of the reasons this surprise has remained concealed is because God wanted to protect the purity of your response when it finally arrives. Comment ready if you sense that something is shifting toward you now. Look back over your past with new eyes, because what if the delay was not denying you, but defending you from receiving the wrong thing too early? What if the closed gate was keeping you from entering before the groundwork was ready? What if the unanswered prayer was not refusal, but timing? This is where many people miss the miracle. They assume that because something did not happen when they expected, it was never meant to happen at all. But heaven rarely works that simply. Often the answer arrives after the heart has been prepared to recognize it. That is why your past may soon look different to you. The same season you once labeled as loss may become the season you later call mercy. The same valley you thought was punishment may become the place where your roots went deeper than fear could reach. And the same waiting that exhausted you may become the evidence that God was building something sturdy enough to last. Type yes, Lord, if you are willing to trust His timing over your frustration. Before we continue, I feel led to share something with you. Over the years, thousands of people have reached out asking for powerful prayers they could pray during difficult seasons of life. That's why I put together a collection of some of the most powerful faith-building prayers I know. These prayers have helped people find peace during anxiety, strength during hardship, and hope when they felt like giving up. The best part is that I decided to make it completely free. If you would like a copy, simply check the link in the description and I'll send it to you. Do not wait until another difficult season arrives. Take it now while it's available and keep it close for the days ahead. Now there is something else you need to know. There is another truth being revealed, and it has to do with the way a river changes course. At first, you do not notice the shift. The water still looks like water. The current still sounds familiar. But underground, something has moved. A stone has broken. A path has opened. A pressure point has given way. Then, without warning, the river turns. That is what is happening in your life right now. The outward picture may still appear unchanged, but beneath the surface, the direction has already begun to alter. What once flowed toward sorrow is being redirected toward restoration. What once carried you into confusion is being bent toward clarity. What once seemed to repeat itself is being broken by a divine interruption. Keep your heart open, because the next few days may carry signs that seem small at first, but they are not small. They are indicators that the current is changing. Comment "I trust God" if you are ready to believe in the unseen turn. Do not skip this part, because the surprise in your future is not just about receiving something new. It is also about understanding why the old things had to happen the way they did. In time, you will see that the moments you thought disqualified you were often the moments God used to deepen your discernment. The relationship that fell apart exposed a weakness you needed to see. The opportunity that collapsed revealed the wrong foundation. The criticism that wounded you taught you not to build your identity on human approval. And the waiting stripped away the illusion that you could force a season that had not yet been appointed. This is why your past is about to look different. Not because the pain was good, but because the hand of God was active even inside the pain. What you are about to discover will not only comfort you, it will reframe you. It will make sense of the scattered pieces. It will show you where heaven was present when you thought you were alone. Type 333 if you are noticing that your understanding is changing. There is a watchtower image being placed over this moment, and it matters. A watchtower does not create the horizon. It reveals what is coming into view. And right now you are being raised high enough spiritually to see what your fear could not see from the valley. A sunrise is breaking over a mountain in front of you, and the first light is not just beautiful, it is informative. It is showing that night has lost authority. It is showing that what was hidden cannot remain hidden much longer. It is showing that the road ahead is not empty, even if you once believed it was. There is a doorway opening at an appointed hour, and the timing of it will surprise you, because it will arrive after you stopped looking in that direction. That is often how heaven works. Just when the mind relaxes its grip, the promise begins to materialize. Stay alert. Something significant is approaching, and the first sign may come in an ordinary moment. Type 777 if you believe heaven is arranging what you could not arrange. The enemy often tries to disguise delay as denial. He whispers that if it has not happened yet, it never will. He uses routine to numb expectation and repetition to make your spirit sleepy. He tries to make ordinary days feel final, as though the story has settled into its permanent shape. But Michael is standing over that lie and cutting it down. Not every quiet day is a sign of nothing. Some quiet days are the last moments before the door opens. Some ordinary hours are carrying extraordinary movement beneath them. Some of the biggest shifts in a life begin with very little visible activity at all. You may be in that kind of hour right now. Before this season ends, the stillness may be interrupted by a message, a meeting, a confirmation, or a door that begins to unlock in stages. Do not underestimate small signs. The gates often move before people notice the hinges. Comment blessed if you are ready for God to surprise you in a way you cannot manufacture. And here is where the emotional weight of this message becomes personal. You have had moments where you wondered if your best efforts were wasted. You had moments where you prayed and then sat in the same place for so long that the silence started to feel permanent. You may have questioned whether the past had already taken too much from you to make room for anything beautiful, but heaven has not forgotten the details. There are prayers you prayed in tears that were recorded, and there are promises attached to those prayers that have not yet fully surfaced. It was never only about asking. It was about becoming ready to recognize the answer when it comes wrapped in a form you did not expect. That is why the surprise is being concealed until the final stages of its arrival. If you had seen it too early, you might have tried to control it, explain it away, or miss it entirely. But now the timing is ripening. The answer is nearing the surface. Type Amen if you are ready to let God choose the shape of your blessing. There is a hidden obstacle that has been working against your anticipation, and it has been more subtle than fear. It is discouragement. Discouragement does not always roar. Sometimes it simply lowers your expectation one quiet thought at a time. It makes you glance away when hope starts to rise. It tells you not to celebrate too soon, not to believe too hard, not to expect more than the familiar. But that spirit is being confronted now, because it has tried to keep you from seeing the movement already in progress. Someone has been thinking about you. Someone has been reconsidering what was once set aside. An opening that seemed impossible is becoming less impossible by the hour, and what you thought was over may be entering the first phase of restoration. Keep watching, because the sign will not arrive in the loudest way. It will come with the kind of precision only heaven can orchestrate. Comment still standing if discouragement has not been able to finish what it started. Many people watching this message have been carrying burdens they never talk about. If that sounds like you, I want to give you something special. I created a free prayer guide filled with powerful prayers for protection, breakthrough, peace, healing, and strength. Thousands of believers have already downloaded it and shared how much it encouraged them during difficult moments. There is absolutely no cost. I simply wanted to place this resource into the hands of people who need it most. If you feel led, go to the description and claim your free copy before continuing. One prayer prayed at the right moment can change more than you realize. Now listen carefully because the next part of this message is important. Now listen, because the atmosphere is accelerating. You are not being prepared for another ordinary disappointment. You are being prepared for a surprise that will alter the way you interpret your entire journey. That means the past will not remain a graveyard of unanswered questions. It will become a map. You will look back and see the dead ends that actually redirected you, the closed lips that protected you, the detours that preserved your life, the delays that positioned you under the right sky at the right hour. This is the kind of revelation that makes a person weep, not because the pain disappears, but because meaning arrives. Meaning is coming to your memory. Meaning is coming to your waiting. Meaning is coming to the parts of your story that once felt random. And with that meaning comes gratitude. Because once you see how heaven was weaving every thread, you cannot call it wasted anymore. Type 1 receive if you are ready for your past to be rewritten by truth. Something is being opened in the heavenly records, and that may sound mysterious because it is. There are moments when God allows a person to understand that their life has been seen in a much larger way than they imagined. The records hold more than your mistakes. They hold your resilience. They hold your prayers. They hold the times you kept going when nobody clapped for you. They hold the hidden obedience that no one rewarded. And they hold the timing of your breakthrough. The next 24 hours are carrying unusual significance, not because every detail will suddenly change at once, but because a sequence will begin. A message may come, a memory may resurface, a barrier may soften, a small yes may lead to a larger yes, and what begins as a whisper can become the start of a new season before you even know how to describe it. Do not leave now, stay until the end, because the final layer of this word is the one that will help you understand why this surprise had to remain hidden for so long. Comment "My time is coming" if you feel the momentum shifting. The reason it stayed hidden is simple and sacred. Some blessings cannot be announced too early because announcement attracts interference. Some doors cannot be widely discussed until they are already in motion. Some restorations need privacy while the roots are being reconnected under the surface. Heaven has been guarding the tenderness of this moment. You may have thought the delay was only testing you, but it was also protecting what was being prepared. A restored relationship, if that is what is coming, would not have survived the old timing. A new opportunity would not have landed safely before the inner healing was established. A divine conversation would have been too fragile before the right atmosphere formed around it. So God hid it, not to frustrate you, but to preserve it. And now the veil is thinning. The horizon is changing. The light is advancing over the mountain. Soon you will know why the concealment was necessary. Type faith if you are willing to trust what you cannot yet verify. There is another piece of the puzzle, and it has to do with recognition. You may have spent a long time feeling unseen, overlooked, or underestimated. You may have wondered whether your work, your faith, your endurance, or your kindness would ever be noticed. But heaven does not forget what people overlook. Promotion does not always arrive with applause. Sometimes recognition begins in a room where your name is finally spoken with clarity. Sometimes favor looks like access before anyone else understands why you were chosen. Sometimes vindication comes not as a dramatic confrontation, but as a quiet reversal that leaves no doubt who was right all along. The important thing is that the order is already shifting. What was hidden is moving toward visibility. What was buried is moving toward expression. What was delayed is moving toward arrival. And when it appears, you will know it came from the hand of God, because it will fit too perfectly to be coincidence. Type chosen if you are ready to step into the recognition heaven has already assigned. I need you to feel this next part deeply. The coming breakthrough is not only for your comfort, it is for your testimony. The moment will change how you speak about the past, because the past will no longer look like an unanswered riddle. It will look like a corridor leading to this very hour. That is why you are being asked in this moment to stop measuring your life by the section of the story you can currently see. There is more ahead. There is a door already beginning to move. There is a conversation waiting to happen. There is a provision you did not see forming. There is a hand on the latch, and when it opens, the speed of the shift may surprise you. You may wonder why it feels so sudden when heaven has been arranging it for so long. But suddenness is often only how miracles appear to those who could not see the preparation. Keep your lamp ready. The hour is near. Comment ready if you feel the nearness of what God is doing. So do not let the old interpretation survive this moment. Do not keep calling sacred delay by the name of failure. Do not keep calling hidden alignment by the name of nothing. The surprise that is approaching is carrying more than relief. It is carrying confirmation that your life has been guided, even when you were not aware of the guidance. It is carrying evidence that the silence had a purpose. It is carrying proof that the unseen realm was active around you. And it is carrying a joy that will feel almost disorienting, because it arrives after so much restraint. But when it comes, you will know. You will feel it before you can explain it. You will understand it before you can fully describe it. And in that moment, the past will no longer control the meaning of your future. Heaven will. Stop now and breathe. The next revelation is not one to fear. It is one to receive. Comment blessed if you are ready for the shift that has already started. And this is where I leave you with one final urgent reminder. Before this season ends, something you thought was far away will suddenly feel close enough to touch. A sunrise is already climbing over the mountain. A river is already changing its course. A sealed scroll is already being opened in the unseen. And a gate that looked immovable is beginning to unlock at the appointed hour. What you are about to discover will not just change how you view your past. It will change how you view God's faithfulness in every hidden place. It will make you grateful for what you once questioned. It will make you stronger in what you once feared. It will make you ready for what comes next. So remain expectant. Remain prayerful. Remain watchful. The surprise is closer than you think, and when it arrives, you will understand that heaven had been preparing this moment for a very long time. Type "Yes, Lord" if you receive the promise, and know this: your next chapter is already beginning. Before you leave, remember that my free prayer collection is waiting for you in the description below. Thousands of people have already downloaded it and used these prayers during seasons of anxiety, uncertainty, spiritual battles, and breakthrough. I made it completely free because I want every believer to have access to powerful prayers when they need them most. If this message encouraged you today, make sure you claim your free copy before you go. And if this message spoke to your heart, subscribe to the channel, share it with someone who needs encouragement, and leave your prayer request in the comments so this community can stand with you in faith. May God bless you, strengthen you, and guide every step ahead.